Greetings, everybody. How are you doing today? It's indeed a pleasure having you here. Welcome back to the channel CSA Forex. My name is Tolu. So I want us to quickly look at a few opportunities for today and maybe even tomorrow as well. But these opportunities are considered as intraday, meaning that within the day. So maybe we'll just leave it to opportunities for today, and tomorrow, if things should change, then we would come back and reanalyze. First things first, as usual, I always advise to check on the calendar in order to know if there's any key data that will be coming out later in the day that could cause some serious volatility in the market. And yes, we have 3 p.m. That's coming out in about 2 hours from now for the US dollar. That's the job openings, high impact. So we should have some volatility introduced to the market, right? Now, with that said, if you look at what we have here for Euro USD, I've already done the markings, so things are a bit clearer for us. First things first, on this time frame, the 30 minutes and also 1 hour, the trend seems to be changing a bit to the upside. And of course, from this intraday perspective, it is best to follow the trend, right? So we had this range over here, as you can see, and then it broke out of this area of resistance here, and then it is yet to test as support. If you look at what happened here earlier, where we had resistance, it broke out here and then did this movement, this arc movement, and then we had nice entries here, went up, did the same arc movement, and then we had nice entries here as well. And if you look at what happened here, or what has happened here, it has broken out to the upside. So that same arc movement would be ideal for us to look for longs here to push it back higher. Don't forget, we have key data coming out by 3 p.m., right? That's about 2 hours from now. These are intraday plays. So look for the market to push back to this area of interest, and then you look for longs, you look for your trigger that you would use to enter on longs. The good thing also is that this area is an untested area of support, right? So we should have fresh intraday levels over here. And then on the dollar card, this is also an interesting one. If you look very well, you can see it has been ranging for a while, and that's since about the 26th of September. And from this long-term range, it has been pushing higher. It has been an uptrend. If you check the higher time frame, like monthly, it has gotten to key area of resistance, right? And also has confluence with the Fibonacci retracement, that is 61.8. Well, as I said, this is strictly intraday plays, so I would not be switching over to the higher time frames. But from what we have here, if you're looking inside the range, yes, it is indeed possible to trade the ranges, right? Just know where your areas of key levels are. Look at what we have over here. We had a breakout here. Some could call this a fake out, right? But this is just a trap. You could call this a bear trap, just to trap those that are trying to sell on a break. And you can see what happened is pushing back up to these areas. If you look at these areas here, we have some areas of flip zone of like support and resistance in this area. So waiting for the market to come back here for a proper sell-off, a proper shot here would be ideal to take it back down here. Here is regarded as untested here. Also here would be good areas of interest for final take profit, assuming it gets to TP1 and then TP2 and then maybe TP3. It depends. So this has a lot of potentials. This is the Loonie, the dollar card. There are a lot of potentials here on a short. And of course, the stop loss will be above that area of interest. But don't forget to wait for your trigger. Cable, GBPUSD. Looking at GBPUSD over here, you would see this flag-like pattern, this rising flag, as you can see, rising channel here. You can see it seems to be hitting the lower trend lines over here for now. So what do we expect from here? Is it going to push back higher, or is it going to break out, retest, and then drop further down? Either way, I would love a long position here from the intraday perspective. And I'm strongly waiting for the news for the job openings data coming out approximately 2 hours from now for a potential, volatile move that could easily see it dropping down to these areas of support, and then we wait for a trigger. You must wait for a trigger only if you want to set penny orders here, but I prefer to wait for the trigger. I like to see how price reacts to that area, and then I would like to see a potential long from here to take it back up, and this is the GBPUSD. And finally, for the radar, just for now, we have gold. You can see that the gold is pretty much similar to what we had on the GBPUSD that we just looked at. And if you look at this one, the same thing here, rising channel here on the precious metal. If you had gotten an entry here, this would have been good, right? But then no entry here. So let's see whether, and this is also looking at a CT, from a CT point of view, which is counter trend point of view, because ideally, I would like the market to get here, and this is untested, as you can see, yet to be tested as support, to get here for long positions to take it back up. But also, depending on the type of trader that you are, I always say, look at the market from the two angles, from the angle of the buyer and also from the angle of the seller. So looking at it from the angle of the seller, which is CT over here, if the market could get back to these areas here, it would be good for another entry on shorts to hopefully take it back down. Or if it decides to go down, let's see whether this lower trend line here could now act as a form of resistance, and then it dropped to this here. Always good to look at the market from both angles, so that if you are a CT or you're a trend trader, depending on the type of trader that you are, you also need to take into consideration what the other party wants to do. So that's what you have over here, right? I'm going to call it a day here. Take note of these four instruments: the EURUSD, USDCAD, the cable GBPUSD, and of course gold XAUUSD, as there are potentials here for today, intraday trading potentials, right? Of course, we try to give an update into this tomorrow to see whether we're able to get any opportunity in this instruments of choice for today. And if not, we'll update it to see how it has unfolded further. Great. So it's a pleasure having you watch this video. If you have any questions, comments in the section below. And of course, I'll get back to you in good time. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Thank you guys. Till next time, have a good one and trade safely. Cheers.